Chloe. I'm from Chloe, Haywood, London, and I'm a sustainable milliner. And sustainable millinery, to me, is basically something where you take a bit of rubbish. Somebody might want to chuck something out. I think it's a gem, and I make it into something else which has a new life and probably doesn't look like it did before. So I've got an example here of a piece that I made for a singer. She commissioned me to make it for a video she was making in Iceland, and she needed something quite magical. And she likes using me because she knows that I can make something. She's quite a bold character, so she needs to have something quite stunning on her. And so I made this completely from offcuts. So when I get my donations, they tend to look a bit like this, which isn't really very inspiring. To me, though, this is gorgeous because it has naturally faded, and it's just, you can't buy straw like this because it's all perfect in colour. Most people want things perfect. I don't. I quite like it when it's a bit sort of beaten up. And so this piece, I think there's two different types of colour of straw. This is a hat brim, which I've rewired because some of the wire had broken and snapped. The base, very loosely blocked. It didn't need to be that smart because she was doing a video. It's not really seen that much on the head. Plus she's got loads of hair, which is wonderful. We got a bead there, which I had to wire up, and then sprayed it with gold paint and then covered it in gold leaf, which I then patinated. So you get this beautiful oily colouring and discoloration around it, which makes it all rather gorgeous. And when she did the shoot, she was, because it's all wired, she could squash it and mould it and do whatever she wanted with it. So, and that's really what you want with a hat, is you want to be able to have some sense of play, I feel. Oh, so the piece I'm making here is for a client. This is originally taken from rosewater, which was from a collection called Liquid. It was inspired by all the plastic in the ocean, way before Richard Attenborough started telling us all about it. And I wanted to highlight the beauty of the waters in the UK, because that's what I'm all about, is made in Britain, handmade and sustainability. So rosewater was part of that collection, and it's made from Fairtrade Panama, vintage veiling and offcut, and these petals and roses are all made from offcuts of vintage fabric, and then we've got vintage stamen in there. So that was her inspiration. So she wanted a white version, which I'm now making, also Panama, but I've not got the fabric to do the petals, so I've managed to cobble together some beautiful vintage flowers, which I've taken off some other hats that I've cut up for other things, and rescued them and wired them together. But she has also ordered a navy version and a black version of the same thing, because she hasn't quite decided what she's going to wear. So I've got a navy one to go and a black one also waiting in the wings. So it's a hand blocked Panama, and the wiring is not, here we are. So here's a sprig of the vintage flowers I'm going to use for the navy one, and it's all, these are lovely actually, but they're all a bit squished, which is fine, because all I need is a tiny bit of steam on them, and then they'll just open up. And then I wire them together and then cover them with some floristry tape, and then I can sew them in place and it'll look gorgeous. Yeah, so I source all my material, well, there's a few places I source my materials. I either get people to donate me their old hats or materials or scarves or whatever. That is fantastic, and then I'll always reward them with a voucher. So do get in touch if you've got anything. And then I have links with the charity trade. When I'm in need of a certain material, I'll email them and say, please can you source a whole load of straw hats or a whole load of wool, and it'll take them about 3 months to go through the donations as they come in, and then I go up to London and source through these massive containers and pick out the best bits, and it's all the stuff that they can't sell in their shop, so it's brilliant for me. Or if I come across something in a charity shop that's the right price, I'll go and pick it up. So these are the sorts of things I might get. So that's lovely. And the thing is with old hats is the straw is absolutely glorious, and you get these lovely, lovely colours. And this one obviously has still got the flowers on, which I'll reuse for something else. You can't get anything like this now. And certainly the people that used to make flowers then, they used to be massive, massive factories with hundreds of people making them. You just don't get that now. So they're precious as anything. This was donated to me by my aunt. You know, it's all useful. These feathers can be used for something. I can use this straw for lots of different things actually. And we'll even use the hairband again. And there's some really yummy things down here. That glorious colour. Again, incredible flower. So normally I would sort of block the crown and then use the brim for something else. And I've just acquired a new block which will use these brims really, really well, so I can use up everything, no waste, and that's what I'm after, is reusing absolutely everything. So that's my straw drawer of lovely bits and bobs. I also, in the wintertime, I like to use wool, and I've acquired a lot of berets, which are very, very popular. So I very, very carefully wash these at a very low degree and repair them. I take all the fluff and the gunk off and they look like new. And then I applique my lovely leather stars all over them. They've gone down very well, and I can get them in a nice small, medium and large selection. So you can buy my hats through my website, which is www.chloehaywoodlondon.com, and Haywood is organic, hay and wood, not Haywood Gallery.